let me get my other phone. Get my other phone. What y'all doing?
This fall, heel pain and sore arches won't stop. Hand-stitched leather boots deliver lasting.
All right, sound check, sound check, sound check. What y'all doing?
This fall, heel pain.
Okay. All right. All right, we got me. How come I don't got like do making up some chili, gonna have some chili. All right, starting to get it right. Still working on these beans. You got to get these beans right before I can go to the next step. What's going on, Eli? He said, hey, EAY. He said, hey, Ray. At first, hey, easy. Eli, how's the sound? Can you hear me fine? I'm trying out my new wireless mic. How is the audio? That goes about ready to part of that. Sorry. That's live. How is the sound? How's the sound, Eli? Help me out. Can you hear me when my back is turned? I don't know. You don't know how the sound is? Can you hear the? Oh, you got the sound down? It's fine. Okay. Yeah, because like I said, I've got a. Okay. Yeah, I got a wireless mic on, so that I can talk when my back is turned, and I just wanted to make sure that you could hear me fine. That's awesome. I appreciate you. Good looking out, Eli. But so here's what we're doing. I've been cooking these beans for a hot minute since about 2:30. It is now 3:40. What I did was, all right, you get you a pack of dried red beans, kidney beans. All right. You're going to put those in a pot, cover them with water. Bring that pot to a boil. Then you're going to put the lid on it. Turn off the heat and let those beans soak for an hour. After those beans have soaked for an hour, and let me go back a step. After those beans are soaked for an hour, you're gonna cook them for about another 2 hours. Like, you're gonna put them back on the heat. And since I'm making chili, it's different than like my normal spices for red beans. So I'm making chili. You're gonna put in some cumin powder, chili powder, black pepper, Tony's if you got it. If not, you can use a little salt. chili flakes. So red pepper and jalapenos. I didn't have any raw jalapeno, but you can use the pickled jalapeno. You just take some out, put it in there. Not the juice. You don't need the vinegar, but just, strain out some jalapenos, put them in there. Like, they're going to cook down and get incorporated. But now we are going to work on the meat part of this process. Because what's chili without meat? You gotta have some meat. Let's put this to the side. I don't need this just yet. Well, I'm doing a pork chili. Ray, turn to the chef. Don't forget the rice. Yeah, I'm not doing rice, Eli. But what we are gonna do is we're gonna cube up this pork steak. Get you some pork steak. You can get the meat already cubed up, but I don't know. I just like to see what I'm working with, so I can kind of control what goes in. Like, see, I don't like this piece. I'm gonna cut that. Hey, that piece is tough. We're gonna trim that off. We don't want that. Like, look. You see that? Like that with that fat, and it's got that hard fat. We don't want that. I don't mind some fat, but that's some tough fat. We don't want that in there. We're gonna cut that off. Let me go in the trash. I'm gonna trim this down a little bit too. Oh, I think that's good. That's good. That's good. Cut this piece off. Cut this piece off. I don't want that. Well, we're gonna. And we're gonna cube up this pork steak, because I like some chunks in my chili. I like some meaty chunks whenever I have chili. Hey, what's going on, Black Toe Bean? Good morning. Maybe it's afternoon. Good afternoon, Ray. Yeah, Black Toe, it is about 5:45 here. I started a little bit early. I need to get a bowl, put this meat in after I get it. We're cubing up this pork steak. Put this over here to the side. Man, I wish I had a bigger kitchen, but I don't. This is what I got to work with, so I got to make it work. I got to make it do what it do. Oh wow, it's 4:45 a.m. for me. Yeah, okay, so you're 12 hours behind me. Move some of these ingredients over here. Oh, I also forgot when I was listing my ingredients, cumin, chili powder, chili flakes. What is that? I don't want that. Gotta trim this piece off. We don't want that piece. We don't want that piece. Get off of there. I don't want that piece. Put that over there. So chili, red chili. I got some Tony's in there, black pepper, but I forgot garlic. I put some garlic in there and a couple of bay leaves. And piece. We can get rid of all of that. Oh no, wait, that's some good fat. We're gonna use that. We're gonna use that. Yeah, we're gonna use that fat here in just a minute. We are gonna use that piece of fat here in just a minute. All right. We got one more pork steak to trim up. Then we're gonna hit the veggies. I normally would have did this earlier, and it's actually easier. Some of those is like still a little bit kind of frozen, and I like that because you know, like when you're cutting up the pork steak, when it's frozen, it's much easier to cut. I'll use that fat later. And get like it's easier to make cubes when it's still just a little bit frozen, because we don't have to worry about overcooking it, because we're just going to brown it, but then it's going to go in the chili, and it'll cook for a lot longer. So even if the meat is frozen when you start, by the time it's done cooking, it's going to be tender and being able to fall apart on your fork. All right, we just about got all this meat cut up. All right, there we go. What y'all talking about in here? Let's see. Hey, Sula's here. And GW's here. Hold on. What's up, everyone? Hey, GW. Oh, wow. Okay. GW said, Elliot, I did Clash Royale. Where are you at in Clash Royale, GW? Like, my account, like I've been playing that since like the very beginning, and like I'm over 12,000 and almost I think I'm around close to 13,000. It's coming. Eli, I saw it. We'll do Eli. Thanks. Oh, good. Today I will put Shadow Fight. I don't know what that is. What's up, Ray? What are you cooking? I am cooking pork chili, and we are getting to the vegetable portion of the cooking. Move this fat over here. We're gonna use that fat here in a minute. I've already show y'all what we're working with here. This is gonna come into play later. Not ready for this yet, but we cooked up some beans. I've been cooking on these beans about 3 hours, but they're sitting over here. They're covered up because we'll use those later. But right now we working on the meats. No, you just score that. Come on, peel. Score that onion skin, and then you just peel it all off. But my hands are slippery. Gotta use my teeth. There you go. onion skin off of here. Let's see what y'all talking about. Good. How's your guys' day? Good. Sula, what happened, Eli? I was just taking around. Which is best, frozen or fresh? Well, Yasha's or GW, like I use like fresh meat. I go like to the supermarket, get my meat fresh, but they're at the grocery store, like they've got it set it out, and it's kind of a little bit frozen, you know, when you first get it. And I should have cut it up, cubed it up. Then it would have been a lot easier. It wasn't that hard, but a little bit easier, like when it's still a little bit cold. Eli. Sula said, I make ramen noodles for my daughter with veg, chicken, pork, eggs, and vegetable the other night. Turned out quite good. It sounds good. But we're Michael something simple kept talking about chili. And I said, well, you know what? I will show y'all how I would make chili in the Philippines. So let's get some of this chopped up. I might have to get another bowl. And we're just kind of rough chopping these onions. They don't have to be perfect. Like I would spend a little bit more time doing dicing if by the time I'm done cooking this, like you're not going to even be able to see any onions because they're going to cook down into the chili. But no, we just rough chopping a full size yellow onion. Get up there. Get up there. Come on, you're going in the pot. Let me get a bowl. Let me start. Give me a little bit more room to work with here. What are y'all talking about? Who's here? I know Sula's here. Appreciate you being here, Sula. Okay. Yeah, there's. I know this is a little bit different than what I normally do, and you know I've got it, on a horizontal live stream, so there probably won't be as many people in the chat, but this way people can it's easier to see. Let me move that out of the way. Easier to see what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Where if it's on the vertical live stream, you know, a lot more people like can see it from like the live stream feed. But this way someone can watch it back later and fast forward through, you know, me chopping onions, which I guess I could have had all this chopped beforehand if I would have been thinking. But y'all can rewatch and fast forward at different parts. Like if y'all weren't here at the beginning, you can go back and I explained what I did with my beans, how I prepared those, and I'm gonna go over the seasonings again before I'm done. Cut that up. There we go. So everybody, the sound is still good. I just got it just came in from Amazon today. My wireless mic. Is that Kitchen AI? Not AI. That kitchen looks completely AI. What technology did you use to make it? Just my superior decorating aesthetics, I guess. I like to have a pleasant environment when I'm cooking. You know, I got my little spices up here, or my spices, my oil, vinegar, sauce. Let's get all that onion in there. All right, come here. We just about got this onion. We just about got this onion whooped. Che, are you? You have to watch this on repeat so you can make Michael chili. You're always talking about chili, so I'm giving you step by step how to make chili. All right, where's my vegetable bowl? We're gonna get all these onions up in here in this bowl. See if I can do it without spilling a bunch of onions. All right, so we got our onion. Am I the only one who loves raw onion? I love raw onion. And you got to get your bell pepper. Grab in there, and you just twist. Just twist, get all them seeds out of there. That goes in the trash. Stem goes in the trash. I could use that top. I like bell pepper too. So I like to trim this. Trim kind of like the little white part out of the bell pepper, but I don't go to race because I'll eat it too. Wait, this one needs to be sliced one more time. And cut that in now. Trim that part off. Some things are hard to get in the Philippines. Like sometimes they don't always have cumin. So like when you're out shopping, if you see cumin, buy it. Even if you ain't planning on making anything with cumin right then, you might not. And that goes for a lot of ingredients in the Philippines. You'll find certain things that you can find more readily than others. But the things that you can't, then what I do is you just run your run your knife down like this and just cut that butt end piece off and make it flat. It makes it easier to cut. And then y'all probably didn't know this, but when you're cutting, like I'm kind of, I haven't been following it the whole time because, like I said, I'm not trying to make it perfect, like perfect dices. But what you do when you hold your vegetables, make like a claw, and then see the flat side of your knuckles. You're holding the vegetable down, and you're slicing down off your knuckles. That way you won't cut your fingers because your fingers are in. And then you just move your hand back to make your dices. If that makes sense. All right. Yeah, like I said, if I was smart, I would have had my onion and bell pepper already cut up, because like I'm not like super chef, and say I'm not doing my cutting technique that I just talked about, because like I said, I'm not trying to make these perfect. They're just rough chop. As long as these are going to be cooking in the chili, like they're gonna cook down, and you will not be able to tell that like they were odd sized. All right, we'll go ahead and cut this top up. Why not? Don't want to leave any. Don't want to be wasteful. So we'll chop this top part up. Just a rough chop. Bell pepper down. And a piece hit the floor. All right. Let's get, wait, where's it? All right. Move that to the back a little bit. Turn the heat on. Get you some olive oil. And let's get some olive oil in there. And we're also this little bit of pork fat that I kind of chopped up, that I trimmed off, that was kind of soft. You see that pork fat? That's going in there. I'm gonna let that pork fat cook down, and I'll talk to you while I'm waiting to hear that start to sizzle. I'm sure AI can't live stream and read comments. User said, I don't think he's AI, but the kitchen and bell pepper is definitely AI. No, it's not AI. That's a real bell. You saw me eating the bell pepper. Good tip with the pepper. Yeah, everything I cook, like I said, if I'm trying to, like cut where it's more uniform, like I can control it better. The way I was describing. Hey, Jing's here. That looks yummy, dude. Pepper is good for the heart. I love, yeah, thanks, Stowaway. Jing's here. Hey, Jing. Friend. Stowaway said, good evening, Ray. Hey, Stowaway. Mike Dunn. And I could have already been heating this pan up. Come on. We're letting that pan get hot. I might as well. Get some. Go ahead and get some of these out and ready. That should probably be enough. But I put the lid. I don't know where I put the lid. I just opened it up. Oh, there it is. So I was getting out about 2 spoonful of jalapenos going in there. But as soon as we want to hear that fat start to sizzle, you got to get the heat up. We got 12 viewers, only 3 likes. On the horizontal live stream, you got to actually hit the heart or whatever because you can't double tap. You can only double tap when it's in vertical. Eli, hi, good evening. Stowaway, just call me Eli. All right. But y'all, let's get that fan going. We got enough light in here? I think so. Let me put this on. Put this on follow mode for a minute. You got some more lights going on over here. And so y'all, the sound is good. Like I said, I just got my Amazon order for my wireless mics. GW said, I am planning to cook some pasta with some fried fish, but I am so lazy to wake up for the bed. I resemble that statement. Y'all can't hear that, but that pork is starting to sizzle a little bit. We just gonna let it brown up. And y'all can look this up if you want, but the process of browning meat, like when you brown meat, that browning is called the Maillard reaction, and I don't know what it does with the enzymes or whatever, but it makes it flavorful. But so we're letting that Maillard reaction work on this pork fat and release all that flavor into that oil that I put in here. So we got some pork flavored oil in that pan to saute these vegetables. Because that's what we do. You put flavor on flavor. Chief said, what's good with you? Just making some chili, Chief. I'll backtrack here in just a little bit to give y'all some of the seasoning so far. But for now, I just got some oil in the pan with some of the pork fat because I cubed up the pork and took some of the excess fat, put it in the pan with my oil, and that oil and pork fat in there working. I think it's about warm enough. Then we got a large, wait, hold on. We need to stop this thing from here. Stop this thing. There we go, right about there. We got like a full yellow onion and a bell pepper, and that's all going in there. That is all going in there. All right. Oh, he's gonna let that sweat. Gonna make you sweat. Let's see, Chief said, hey to GW, hey Stowaway. Chief saying, hey to everybody. Barbie Vlogs here, hey Barbie Vlog. We making some chili. Stowaway cooking lesson with Ray. Yep. So, like I said, I've already cooked the beans. Nope. I'll put that in there. I already cooked the beans. Pretty much, like, they're pretty much completely soft now. But they're gonna cook even more in the chili. And I might have to let's see if I can do this. Hold on. Y'all come with me. All right, because I've got I've got the tripod set up with my little. Wait, is that better? Wait, is that better? Wait. Okay. I think that was my bad. All right. So, like I said, I'm sweating down these onions and bell peppers. There's some little piece of that pork fat in there. And then, like I said, I started cooking these beans like many hours ago. Probably what I did, because I didn't do a full soak. I did what I call a hot soak, and hold on, wait, and a hot soak is when hot soak, you bring your beans to a boil, then take them off the heat, cover them up, let them sit for an hour, and then cook them like normal. But normally you would take your beans and soak them overnight. But like, I'm not a good planner, so I always forget to plan ahead, like, because I don't know what I'm going to cook until the day of. I don't plan meals ahead of time. All right, well, we're gonna see if we can put this back on here and not mess things up. Wait, let's see. Wait, come on. Okay. And now we're back on the gimbal. Is that straight? All right. So these onions are starting to get translucent. It's all getting softened up, and it smells amazing. Put this back again. Yeah, I think whenever I took it off of the gimbal, because I had it streaming horizontally, I might have put it vertical for a second and it probably froze the stream. It will make sure to thank you, and yeah, since this is a horizontal stream, you can't double tap. Hey, Martin's here. What's going on, Martin? This onion and bell pepper is pretty soft now. Like we're gonna take some of this out. I'm gonna leave some of it in, but I'm gonna take some of it out just to make more room in this pot. So, like I said, sweat down your onions and your bell pepper. And this pork steak that I cubed up, that's going in there. I left a little bit of the onions and bell pepper in there to add some of that flavor to the meat. And then, so we're making chili. In no particular order, we got black pepper, cumin. This is the way I measure. All right, look. Put it in your hand there. That's about a tablespoon. And then you just take your hand and go, boom, in there. And I used up all of that chili powder, so I got to open a fresh pack. So again. And this, I don't know why they do this in the Philippines. They double bag everything. They put it in a bag inside of another bag. Doesn't make any damn sense. All right. So, come on. That's about right. And about a tablespoon of chili powder. And I've already got chili powder, like all these ingredients were in the beans. But we're just flavoring the meat right now. And then me, I use Tony's. You could put salt, but like Tony's is salty. Anyway, come on. We'll put about a teaspoon of Tony's in there. Red pepper. You probably don't want to put it like for the start. I like to get about a pinch. Just like if you've ever had a dip, just sprinkle those in there. Let's see, what am I forgetting? Am I forgetting anything? No, that's about it. And we're gonna stir some more. Let that pork steak brown up a little bit. I'll take y'all off the tripod. all talking about it here. Cheetos at W everyone. Sula, very good. This will be very tasty. Is the food in Louisiana spicy? What you talking about, Sula? Yeah, it's spicy. It doesn't have to be, but yeah, a lot of Louisiana's food is spicy. Elliot says, so if the outer plastic gets a hole, the other plastic keeps everything in. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's why they do it, but it's like, why would the outer plastic get a hole? Why they put, well, I know why they put it in the plastic. Because if you buy, like with the humidity, if you buy like normally I buy, you know, I'm used to like the little seasoning things, but after you open it up, it sits in the cabinet, then all the seasoning gets hard. You got to get something in there to break it up because the humidity like makes everything hard. Where is? Oh, I forgot. Garlic powder. And we're still browning meat. Like it doesn't have to be, the pork doesn't have to be like super done. In fact, I'm gonna move this pork stick to the side. Yeah, I'm gonna let it brown just a little bit longer. Like most people make a beef chili, but you can find some, especially in Tagaytay, you can find some good beef. But like I'm doing this for like expats all over the Philippines because everywhere in the Philippines you can't find good beef. So I'm doing a pork chili, and you can definitely find the bad boy in the Philippines. Get this bowl out. I think that's browned enough. Let's pull it out. And see if I was in the US, then, I'd have a big stove with multiple burners and could be doing like a lot of this, in different pots on the stove. But I'm in a condo in the Philippines and I ain't got that kind of room. So what I gotta do is I gotta move stuff to the side to cook something else, because that was the pork steak. This is the ground pork. All right, we're gonna cook up this ground pork. And the same, well, maybe not as much ground pork. That pepper. cumin. And chili powder. All right. Give that a stir. Cook down that ground pork, and then we're going to start adding. And then I will be at a spot where I'm just letting the chili do what it do. You don't got to stand over it. Like it is gonna simmer for a while. But let me show you what I got with this. That ground pork, that pork steak. Just cooked it to it. That's gonna be good in there. That's gonna be little flavor bombs. I like that. I like that. All right. Sula, could you get a little trolley thing with a top on it for extra workstation? I probably could, but like you see, like, you know, my coffee table right here and my couch. You always see me sitting on the couch, so I could, you know, move this table over though. But there's not a lot of room for a little trolley thing. Not a lot of room. Like if I had to, I could sit down here and work on the table, but ain't nobody got time for that. But I would. All right. You know what? We're gonna see if I can get my little buddy off the tripod here without too much problem. All right, we'll move this tripod back out of the way, and wait, that way I can bring y'all over here. Show you what's going on over here. I mean, we just browning some ground pork, and I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get. I got one here, like the pork. Wait, switch around here. Come here, hey. Hey, what are you doing? Follow. Okay. It won't go that high. Can I bring you up a little bit more? Maybe that'll help. Wait, you with me? I'm gonna put one of these pork bouillon. I already got pork bouillon in with the beans, but we're gonna add a little more pork flavor. One of those pork bouillon cubes in there with that ground meat. Make it extra porky. That's just flavor. Don't be afraid of flavor. I'm gonna go ahead and add those jalapenos I got out earlier. We're just gonna throw those in there. Get those jalapenos in there. Look it all together. Probably could have probably stand even more jalapenos, but I think Lynn will be here in a few days. She said, I told her what I was making, and she said, hey, what are you doing looking at my butt? Hey, what are you doing down here? Hey, get up here and act right. Here, let me put you up here. Man, what if I put, let me find some space. Got a limited space. There we go. All right. And see, the main purpose with this ground pork, again, like you don't have to cook it all the way through, because it is going to be simmering for a long time. My main goal whenever I'm doing, like ground pork or ground beef is to get it where it's not chunky, like it's just going to be like part of the meaty sauce of the chili, but not chunks of meat. This is the chunks of meat. It's almost, in a way, it's almost like making spaghetti with different types of spices, because what comes next, and this is the brand you want to look for in the Philippines, Donna Elena. And so I got a big can of, wait, let's get over here. Got a big can of, let's see if we can move this over. Come on. Got a big can of diced tomatoes. And that's going in there. We can put a little bit of water in there too. Let's get all that. Get all that tomato goodness in there. There you go. All right. You got your tomatoes in there. Give that a quick stir. Then your onions and bell pepper, that goes back in. Back in the pot. Those big cubes of meat. What are we gonna do with that? Hey, they going in the pot. I'm telling you, when I cook, you don't gotta worry about nobody getting hungry. Let me get this mixed up. Get this mixed up, I'll give y'all a look at it. All right, and then remember those beans? Yeah, let's get some of them beans in there. And some of that juice, because that juice is delicious. Alright. We might add more of those beans later, but let's see what that does to this whole situation. Alright. So this is what we're working with right now. And don't worry about those bell peppers and onions because that is gonna simmer for a while. And those bell peppers and onions are gonna disappear. They're gonna disappear into that chili. And we need where is my lid? We're gonna throw a lid on it. And I can catch up with comments. See what the hell y'all talking about. We gotta move this table back out of the way. I can get over here. Wait, we'll move this table over this way. There we go. We'll get over here like this. Put this thing in follow mode, straighten up. Yeah, I told you, Sula. Whenever I cook, like people don't have to worry about leaving hungry because I don't know how to cook small portions. I just don't. Close this door. Let's see what. Yeah, I'll get. Wait, let's see who's in the chat. See if anybody close to me here is in the chat. Like if Michael C's here, I'll tell Michael C to come over and I'll send him home with a Tupperware bowl full of some chili. Might be better on cheese. It doesn't even. Wait, I don't care for coffee. Chief don't care for coffee. I think Chief is making coffee. Coffee, no, Chief's not making coffee. It doesn't even taste good. Got Chief. That will last a few days, right? Yeah. I'll get some individual containers and I might freeze some of it. Yes, it does smell good. Sometimes cigarettes smell good, even if you don't smoke or a cigar. I'm fixing to smell a cigarette here in a minute. That's some amount of chili. You go to feed all. Yep. Ray the influence, the gang leader, the master chef, master chief. Chief's here. Chief is the master chief. I'm just a brave. And right now this brave's thirsty. And no, Chief, I ain't getting a drink. Not right now. But I am gonna get me some Coke. Let's see. Stopped following me, didn't you? All right, so, but y'all tell me, like, how is the audio? I asked earlier, but I just got my wireless mic from Amazon today. This is the first time trying it out. Okay. Sula's a master chief and master chef. Time for a cigar, Chef Ray. Well, I don't have a cigar, but I got a cigarette. I need to look up that song, Chief Pounder Hard. I never knew it was a song and didn't hear it until Ray played it last night. Sula, I done told you, like all the songs you hear, they're not copyrighted because they're mine. So if you want the Chief Pounder Hard song, I'll have to send it to you. Audio is good, but can hear the cooker and traffic and crickets. Crickets? I don't. Well, now I'm sitting by the window. Maybe we can pick up some traffic noise. Is that your song, Ray, too? Yes, absolutely, Zula. You always have good music. Thanks, Dole. Yeah, I pretty much, I haven't done it in a while. I don't, other than Chief, I don't know if anybody's in here that, Martin was here. I don't know if Martin's still here, but, oh, Jeet said you were live from laptop. Okay. I'm not on a laptop, Jeet. I didn't even see it here. But, no cigar, just vape. Yep. I think it's white crickets. Maybe it's the cooker. It could be, or the exhaust fan. Sula said the audio is very clear. Yeah. I don't see something simple. I know. He was the reason I was making this whole chili, and I told him I was going to do it horizontal, so don't look for me on the. But you know what I'm gonna do, you guys. I'm gonna end this live stream, and then I'm gonna start another live stream vertical, and we'll go, because I think I got enough on this video where it's got like all of the process of cooking the chili in this video. So the purpose of this video is pretty much done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this one and do a vertical live stream for the rest of my time. So y'all check for me on vertical. Who dat? Love you all.